guys and welcome. Today I'm going to make a couple of document closure folio cards. So I've got one pre-cut and scored here, but I'll give you the measurements. The card, and I'm using craft cardstock. The card is 10 3/4 by 4 1/4, and then I've scored the side at 2.75, and then I've turned it around and scored the other one at 2.75. So they will actually close up like that. So when we open, we're going to have a journaling space inside here, some journaling space on the side, and then just some decoration on the front cover. So we might do the front cover first if we turn that over. I'm also going to be using this new or newish set from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It does come with a die for the lady, and it's called Travels from the Past CS340. I hope that's not too glary on you guys. But first of all, I just want to collage the front a little bit. I purchased some digital downloads just to get some grungy type paper for this. So I'm going to cut panels, I think, rather than have it over the fold, because sometimes it tears. So if we know that that's 2.75, we will go a little bit smaller. We'll go about 2.5. That way it'll give it a nice little border around the outside, and we're going to cut 2 of those, one for each side. And then the back panel, we're going to stay with that same range. The back panel is 5.5, so we might go 5 1/4. And the width of this is, like I was saying before, it's 4 1/4, so we'll go 4. Now I have to go the length of it. That's right. Go 4. Because the length of that middle section is 5.5, so we want to go 5 1/4. You can use a pencil. You could measure it on here if you wanted to do that. Everybody has their own style of doing things. And then the length of that again was 4 1/4, so we're going to go 4. Lovely. And just put my trimmer to the side. I might use the side that I don't like, given that we're going to cover it. I'm going to use that nice side for the inside. I'm just going to get my bone folder and redo that fold just to keep it neat. Alright, so open it up on the outside, and now we're going to glue it down, and you can use glue stick for this. I might ink my edges because we won't be able to do it after, because we're forming a frame just with vintage photo, because it's a similar color to the paper. I'm making these I'm in a Facebook group called Junk Journal Creative Swaps in Oz, so here in Australia. And each month, the admin team that do a fantastic job on this team, they create a heap of events, and then you can choose. I'm just going to trim a little bit more off there to even up the frame. You choose which event you want to go in, and then you get teamed up with a partner, and you make whatever the project is that you've selected. So you and your partner make that, and then you swap. You mail it to them and they mail it to you, and it's just so much fun. And I have to make 3 of these for my partner this month, and the theme is grunge. So we're going to grunge it up a little bit. I'm just going to trim just a slight bit off the end of these, just because I cut some off the other one, just so it all looks not much. And this has got writing on it, so we want it up the right way. And then the back panel. And inside, because I want it for journaling, I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, you could use this paper because you could journal over it, but I'm going to do coffee dyed paper on the inside. So just measuring again, 2.5 by 4. And 5.25. So let me just write that down. So do the back panel first. I might just cut that edge off. Should have done that before. And 2.5 was the side bits. Well, sometimes it doesn't tear unless you've got a whole piece. Let's go this way. Split up. There we go. So we're going to ink the edge of that as well. Just keeping in with that grunge theme. And you could do some stenciling on this or some very faint stamping, but I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it the plain coffee dyed paper. The thing I like about coffee dyed paper, it gives it a real parchment feel, like it's just really great to work with. And then we're going to stick that down, but I want to ink it with Scorched Timber, and I don't want that on my Vintage Photo inking, so I'm gonna ink it before I stick them down. Going to do, while I've got it in my hand, the outside edge with the Scorched Timber. Make sure I've got it the right way up. Not that it matters because I'm only putting coffee dye down, but it's a good habit to get into because I have had a few upside down failures in my day. So if you stick to the same basics, hopefully you won't make too many of those mistakes. Now on here, so here's our journaling spaces. I'm just going to use my foam folder just to try and get any bubbles out from the glue stick. But then creases and bubbles add to the aging of it as well. So like I said, I really want to play with this stamp set today. So, and I really love this lady. So I'm going to put her in here. See if I've got a stamp block for her to go on. Yes. Now this one, because it hasn't been used before and it's a really good quality polymer, I'm just going to ink her a couple of times. You can usually tell a good quality, well in my point of view, it is quite sticky too, so I might do, actually I'll do her, yes, I'll do the practice one on this craft, because I can turn that into a notebook if it stamps okay. Now it's a bit faint. Let's give it another go. So you can see why I say ink it a couple of times. I've got coffee dye paper down there. See how it goes on that. Getting better. I'll give it one more pre-ink and then we will see how we go on our project. I can cut it. That one's still not too bad. I can cut it out and use it on something. Still across the eyes. But I'm going to put her on my journaling card. I'm going to put a bit of pressure on there. Oh, perfect. So I stood up and applied a little bit of muscle to it. Lovely. Now on the front we want to have a look at our closures, and you know, we might do, it's got some beautiful stamps on here, so we might use these two down here for our closure. And I want to put them on some cardstock. Probably not that. Just look for a colour that might complement. Maybe that one. I'll go the dark one. Pop him off to the side for a minute. Grab 2 stamp blocks. And see what I mean, they're quite sticky, so a couple of pre-stamps will get rid of that. I'm just going to ink it really well. They may stamp okay the first time. We're going to be cutting these out and they will form our tabs for our closure. That one didn't stamp too bad, but I will redo it given that it is a feature on our front cover. Same with that one. And we won't throw them away because we can use those for mini clusters, because we'll be can put something over where it's faded. So I've once again applied a bit of pressure to that one. Okay, so we might just pick the best out of those. Maybe this one down here and that one there. So let's and definitely keep the other ones. Like I said, they're great for clusters, layering, but they are really good quality, so they will last and last. Not like the cheap ones that you buy. They're hard to get straight on a stamp block, and yeah, they don't, if you're only going to use them once or twice, so they're okay. But you know, I like to reuse my stamp set, and you know, you fork out money regardless of where you buy them from. So my thinking was to have them as the closure. Now we might need, I'm going to ink that first. So that's just inking that with tea dye. And we are going to put an eyelet in those because we're going to have a tie on that. But I just think it needs something that's a bit stark. So let me have a look at what other stamps are in this set. You can probably put a number. Now this is a double number and we only want one of them. Yep, no, that should be okay. And that should stamp fine. So I'm only inking the edge. It's the same number twice on the stamp, but I'm only inking one of them. So see how that just gives it a little bit more interest, because that is, the background is quite bright, and I'm thinking I still want to dull it down somehow with like a texture stamp or something. I think I had, oh maybe this postmark one. Let me have a look. There we go. That's better. So it just takes away that stark, plain brightness, because you know we're putting it on here and here, and I feel like maybe a label or something under both of those. So let me have a look. Got anything? Going to have a quick look in here. Don't like the daisy on that. Just to sort of, you know, have something behind it. Doesn't necessarily have to be beige either. Just picking out a couple of things that I think might look okay. And then it's a bit of trial and error. All right, so if we work with one first. Some might be too big, but we can cut them down. I don't mind that. We will grunge it up, of course. But then we want a similar and then I guess we can add some labels or numbers on there. No, I do like that. Let's have a look at some numbers. So all these I cut out yesterday. I bought a heap. They're digital downloads. Bought a heap, but these all come as one. It's such good value. And I will find the shop I bought them off and link it below for you guys. Maybe that. All right, so let's get these on there. Running out of room on my desk. So I'm edging this first of all with scorched timber, and then I will put a little bit of vintage photo just to blend it in. Blend it in there for us. Now that has to go back to there. So we glue it about there. And the beauty about having a lot of labels and tickets like this is it makes projects quite simple and quick. I mean, you can get overwhelmed too if you've got too many. But it's the cheapest way to buy them because you can reprint them time and time again. So the key is to, when you're doing a closure, is you've got to line them up pretty close to each other like that. And now we want to put our bits and pieces down the bottom. And then the couple over the side here. Yeah, I think I like that. I should be using my tweezers. Now we're just going to do the eyelets on that and then tie some string on and we will be finished. We could do a pocket on the back, but we're actually going to slip that inside a pocket in our journal, so I'm not going to do that. I might put a stamp of something there with her, but apart from that, now my eyelets, I'm going to use antique bronze, just in keeping with the colours in this. And I also like to use the washers if you can get them. You can't always get them with your eyelets. To me, it just finishes it off, especially when you're doing a closure. On tags, not so much, but on a closure like this, if you can, I would. It's a tight fit. They're a little bit bigger than my crocodile. Got it. Either that or I'm running out of strength. It's becoming late afternoon here. That's one done. Done. Just want a word in there. So nothing in that set. I'm just having a look beside me what I've got out rather than going looking. Let's just use that one. It's long and I think it'll work well. I think I might do it in just a different colour. Looking for Seafarer, which I've got. Archival ink as well. This one's just letter parcel number, so it's nothing really in the scheme of things. I just wanted to just finish off that area there. Now we're going to tie that up. Now you can tie it with seam binding, sari silk, string. I'm actually going to use some twine. It's like a fine twine. And I find the end of it. I pulled a bit out this morning of a couple of different colors of it, and they're just piled on my desk beside me. We're just going to have it in a bow. I'm going to leave a fair bit of a tail on that. Let me move all this so you can, I'll turn this over so you can see, guys. Not that that's a great piece of copy dyed paper. That one will do. So there you go. So beautiful folio, document closure, folio journaling card. Oh, now I'll have to redo that. I let our pins come off. It might have been a bit thick. That's okay. I can pop that out and redo it. We've got some stamping inside. We've got some beautiful journaling space. We can even journal on the back. You know, we could put a pocket on there as well. But a really cute project to do, to have you be able to slip that inside your journal. You could even put some signatures in here if you wanted to, entirely up to you. You know, your signature could even go that far along. It doesn't matter because your cover will close it up, so if you wanted an extra notebook in there. But a really fun project, guys. I'm just going to retie that up. Thanks for stopping by today. If you want to see more of my videos and haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button, and that way every time I upload a video you'll get notified of it. But thanks, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.